revisit it once we have an agreement in place and have time to take a more comprehensive look. So that's where I'm leaning right now as far as this discussion.
Anyone else? Councilmember Weimer?
And I apologize if this question's already been asked, but I know we did get a number of comments from folks out on the island that said, let's just go with a $2 across the board. And they seem to indicate that I think that's option number, I can't remember what it is.
That'd be six.
Number 6, that was your preference, Mr. Abart. Have you said that that's your preference?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
All I've done is try to
Because
provide.
it seems like that one, doesn't cover costs very well. It might be a good interim solution to maybe come up with a $200,000, but it doesn't cover lots of the other expenses that have happened. And if ridership switches, it really falls short. But I'm kind of leaning with Mr. Mann right now, too, while we finish our negotiations with the tribe and deal with these other things, taxing districts and all the other. Maybe that's a stopgap at least to come up with the $200,000, and it would be across the board. So,
Okay. The problem let me respond real quickly, and then I'll get to Councilmember Kirshner. The problem I have with stopgap measures is this fund is already about $300,000 below our fair recovery target. So it's not a $200,000. Even if the Lummi issue is resolved at $200,000, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of between $400,000 and $500,000 is the area we need to make up. Responding to the issue of ridership dropping, there is no question ridership's going to drop with this substantial increase. This is going to hit the Lummi Islanders pretty hard. I'm very sympathetic to that. If it were me, it would force me or anyone to economize the use of the ferry and economize their travel and their trips as much as possible. The administration, in their wisdom of presenting this to us, presented us with models that showed ridership dropping because that's to be expected, and we can deal with that. But we are, in my opinion, so far behind in terms of where we need to be on this that introducing what you might call a stopgap measure, I think it's too little too late to try to do that. Also, I am open to looking at charging for parking when we get to that point. I think we're going to have to deal with that issue, and that might involve issuing a parking sticker or a mirror hanger or something like that at some point. We haven't even crossed that bridge yet because we just don't have enough information, in my opinion, particularly the lease on the Gooseberry side, to really know what we're going to do about parking. But in addition to these, I can see where a parking fee may need to be addressed in the future. Councilmember Kirshner?
Well, I think we're talking about two different things, and I can actually support both of them. I can support the motion made by Councilmember Crawford to eliminate the special needs rates for the reasons that we've heard here, that it is becoming more and more difficult for our treasurer to administer it with shrinking revenues. And I can also support a $2 across-the-board increase, which I believe was option 6, which I believe I tried to move twice a week ago and it failed. So I'm good with both of those measures.
Well, I guess, Councilmember Kirshner, I forgot to, my charts and stuff are at home, but option 6 included still a substantial increase in the multi-ride 25 vehicle and passenger, more than $2. It was going from $6.40 to, I don't know, somewhere in the $10.50 to $11 range. So I'm not sure
That's
about
right.
this $2 across the board.
You're right.
I just want to differentiate that, because if folks are just saying, just charge us $2 a head more and leave it at that, option 6 was not just that. It was.
You're correct.
Okay. All righty.
option 1 was a
Option
two.
1. Okay,
was a
folks
two-
are saying it was option 1. So.
Right, it was $2 across the board.
Thanks.
And that didn't even come close, as I recall, to.
No, that didn't
Yeah.
even meet the objective.
Peggy just gave me a copy here, and
Okay.
okay, further discussion on the motion. The motion is to eliminate special needs items 6 and item 15. And that's on the Exhibit B here that we have in front of us. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, that motion carries 4-1 with Weimer opposed. Mann out of the room, and Knudsen, Crawford, and Nelson and Kirschner in favor. Anything else folks want to do before this goes to ordinance hearing?
What was the motion?
The same one we had, to remove the special needs. It passed 4-1. Would you like to air, I think you've already said you would vote against it.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, anything else before this goes for a hearing? Councilmember Kirschner.
I'd like to move that line 12 be reduced to $12. And I'm going to make a subsequent motion that line 1 be increased to $6. And line 9 and line 1 be increased to $6. Line 12 be decreased to $12.
Decrease to $12, is that what you said?
Correct.
Which one are you increasing?
Increasing the pedestrian
No,
and
which line?
line 1,
1 and 9 go up $1,
Okay.
and line 12 goes down?
it goes down to $2 to $12.
You know
And the
what?
reasoning behind that is because I want to ensure that our ferry stays operational, and the car and driver fare is the driver of these rates. And if we increase it to the point where people aren't taking their cars onto the ferry, we're not going to be meeting our target revenue, and we're going to be in a bigger bind than we are now.
Now, Councilmember Kirschner, what about the big ticket item is item 14. So do you want to impact that at all? If,
We reduced that to $50.
what this does is it does make the discount from the $12 much less. Let's see, I'll try to do the math. here.
Okay. Let me reframe that. I'm sorry. I want to pull that back.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't want to change 12. I want to change 14 and bring that down $50. It's a 25 multi-ride, so it'd be $2 a trip.
237?
Yes.
And where did you come up with 50? Are you being arbitrary?
25 tickets, 25 rides, times $2 is $50, so bring it down 50.
Okay, okay, so,
And leave 12 at 14.
How about the line number 2, the multi-ride for pedestrians? Is that, you want to increase?
Yes, and
Change
and
that
then
at
I
all?
would want to increase that $1, so increase that $25.
Multi-ride pedestrian?
So it would be $90, or,
No, the number 2 would be 140.
so that'd be like no discount, basically?
Yeah, it would, because
Well, she's got the single trip at $6,
25 times 6.
so 25 times 6 is 150.
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm just, my question is, is line
Are you
2
reducing
changing,
it
or?
Increasing it?
Increasing line 2, $25.
25, so that goes to 140?
Yeah.
How does that pencil out per ticket?
They saved $10, just like they did before.
They were saving,
$10 before. It was 125 as opposed to 115.
It was 40.
says it was $40
It was
before.
40 before.
I would think you would want that
No, it
to,
was $10. 115 for 25 round trips is
Let's see, it was
125, so they
one-
saved $10.
5 divided by 25, so they were paying
they were paying,
they are paying $1.60, and under $115, it would be $4.60, so that goes up $3 a trip. And at 140, which is what Councilmember Kirschner is proposing, I think, divided by
So
25,
what's the
that comes up to
increase?
$5.60 a trip.
Okay, what's the increase? They're taking a substantial increase right here in this proposal.